Good evening, Oxford. Welcome back to another week of the awesome movie show. We're going to need a bigger blog. I'm your host, Al Colker, and tonight we got a full house again, 2 weeks in a row. This is awesome. And we have another reoccurring guest, Elizabeth, all the way from Kappa Delta. Woo!
Yeah, hello. Thank you.
She was dying to get on this episode, so we're glad to have her here. On my right, we have my man, Jackson Herman.
Hey, how's it going?
And across the table, who has been looking forward to the show ever since the beginning of the year, Alex Caldwell, also known as Xander. So
I even got my Boston hat on right now.
He's got his Boston hat on.
I'm happy to be here.
He's got his Boston hat on because, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing the classic Scorsese film, The Departed, and we're excited about it. This is one of the best films out there. It's number 40 on IMDb's top movie list.
Underrated.
Well, if you go to the whole list of, there's a lot of great movies out there.
But there are some that are in front of them that are just, they're honestly head scratching. Honestly, Interstellar's what, top 10?
It is.
We were talking about that before.
Yeah, we were talking, but there's a lot going on.
Right.
You really gotta
Right.
you gotta pay attention. It's long.
Oh well,
You're
we're not
gonna
talking
fall-
about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, Caldwell says Interstellar is overrated, which I call bullshit. So, but actually, Caldwell, I got you. So why'd you give yourself the nickname Xander? I think a lot of our listeners want to know.
You know
why.
what? It hasn't really taken shape yet.
No, 'cause it's a terrible
Yeah,
nickname.
I don't think anyone's really.
I don't think it will catch
sticking
on.
with it. But we'll see what happens in the future. You know, maybe if I go to a different city, go by Xander. You know what? It's not gonna stick because everyone's just gonna call me Caldwell. It's just not. It's not gonna. My wife, if I ever get a wife, is gonna call me Caldwell.
Never go.
It's gonna be Caldwell.
Of course.
They're not gonna call me by my first name. So. But enough of me. Let's talk about the film.
Let's talk. Yeah. So this is.
Yes.
So
Let's dive
Xander.
right into it.
when preparing for this episode tonight, I had to start off with Dropkick Murphys shipping off to Boston. It's how this movie really starts. Really gets you in the feels of going to Boston, which is the main setting of this awesome gang movie. An undercover cop and a mole in the police attempt to identify each other while infiltrating an Irish gang in South Boston. Southie Boston. What do you want? Northern Providence? You selling cannolis or something? So this movie was great mainly because of the cast. I would say the cast is very important. Also, it's a great
Thick cast.
Yeah.
Superstar cast.
superstar cast. Also, it's a remake of a movie. Did you know that?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
wait.
Explain.
It was a remake of a Japanese film that's literally the same exact thing. Like there's a guy inside the police department and there's a guy in the mob. It's called Internal Affairs. Look it up. Check it out.
What year?
Wait.
All right, honestly.
Let's.
What
All
year?
right. Well, I thank you.
Well, this
to
was 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2005, 2006.
Internal Affairs.
Now, did this
1990.
Did this
1990.
win anything?
Yeah, it won 4 Oscars.
Okay. Best picture?
Best motion picture.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Wow.
So actually, 2006 was a terrible year for Oscars.
What was
film?
it going up against?
2006 Oscar nominees. Thank you, Google.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. All right, someone take over. Caldwell. Okay, best picture. Wait.
Because 2007 was
Yeah.
2008 was Hurt Locker. 2007 was what, Slumdog Millionaire?
It wasn't that long ago.
wow.
Was it that?
I don't
Was
think
it
it was
really?
that long ago.
And then
All right,
2005
who
was
cares?
Crash, which is one of
No,
my favorite
2000.
movies.
So I just looked. 2006 was Crash.
Oh, okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So
So it would have been 2007 Oscars? if
I think it
came out
was
in 06?
2007. Let's check.
That would have, made in 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
2000.
2007.
Okay.
2007 was Departed. Nominees were Letters of Iwo Jima.
Good film.
Good film. The Queen. Andy Harris. Christine Lagan. Tracy
Jackson's over
Seward.
here like, yeah, what?
Check this out. Babel. And guess who?
Babel?
Babel.
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 Yeah, it's with Brad Pitt. Who's the girl in that?
I doesn't.
It's kind of it's a multiple story kind of plot thing
Well,
where they go in and out.
guess who's the director? Speaking of the devil, it's Iriatu, the guy who did Revenant.
Really?
Ah.
Yeah. So, all right, come on, let's get back to it. Let's get, and then also Little Miss
That's some good
Little Miss
history.
Sunshine.
Hey.
Little Miss
Okay.
Sunshine.
Okay.
Come on.
Don't
Okay.
come on me, Herman.
Okay.
Don't come on the commoner.
Can we talk about Scorsese for a second?
Yeah, of course.
The
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Please.
We had this discussion before, and
So also on top of the cast is this well-renowned director, Martin Scorsese. He is known for countless number of movies like
Wolf of Wall Street,
Right.
Shutter Island,
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
another
Goodfellas.
mobster movie.
Taxi Driver,
Yeah, Taxi
Absolutely.
Driver.
Raging Bull,
You
Casino,
talking to me?
Gangs of New York. He did Cape Fear. He did Aviator.
Yeah.
He did them all. He's something else. And Caldwell did say this outside in the hallway.
Yeah.
How
Brought it up.
the Mount Rushmore of directors. Who's it going to be? Caldwell, go.
Yeah. So my Mount Rushmore, Spielberg's got to be up there.
Absolutely.
Of
Yeah.
I don't think we
course.
can argue that. Christopher Nolan.
Absolutely.
Christopher
He
Nolan's
definitely
up there.
earned his place. We were
Martin
talking about
Scorsese. Some people would put Tarantino in this fourth one. Some people would
I
put
would. We
James
talked about
Cameron.
it. Yeah.
James Cameron, I would not even put anywhere near.
that. That's a
top.
bold move.
And my fourth, I'm putting Ridley Scott. He did Black Hawk Down.
Oh, he
He did
That's a great movie.
Gladiator, of course.
Gladiator.
He did The Martian.
Wow.
He did Out of the Furnace, American Gangster,
Alien.
Alien, the original Blade Runner
He did
with
the
Harrison
original.
Ford. So
Awesome.
he definitely has a good track record of film. And I love Gladiator. It's like my
It's
maybe
fantastic.
my top one or two films.
Did you
of all time, so I
did you
love
know
it.
they were gonna make like a sequel, and it was gonna be
To
about the other
Gladi?
slave,
Gladiator.
Oh,
like
really?
the black slave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Of course. Herman, you want to give us your Mount Rushmore?
I agree with the first three. I think Tarantino is up there in discussion for the fourth spot.
His films are overdone.
I
They're
think there's something to say
But
about
he
that, though.
is. That's who
That-
he
that
is.
Yeah,
is-
exactly.
what
That's
makes-
like his calling card. I
Yeah.
think every director has that.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's his MO.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot
I
of
think,
blood.
And I think some things that I like about Scorsese and like all of his movies that work well is like he kind of started that like the follow shot where the camera's like walking with the actor,
Yeah.
and a lot of the shots that use that are pretty important. Like
Yeah.
in The Departed, when Queenan falls off the roof, it's
It's following DiCaprio.
He's showing up late. It's like an intense scene. You
It's
don't
so
expect.
weird.
You don't
That's
expect
so
it to happen,
weird.
and you're following him, and crash.
It's like
a
right
dead
in front
body
of him,
lands
too.
right
Like
in front
even
of him.
DiCaprio
Oh, yeah.
is like, oh my god.
And you can see blood go
Oh.
everywhere. Like, but
All right, Elizabeth is deciding who her directors are over
Well,
here.
now-
She's really just puzzled.
Yeah, so I thought I was with Jackson on this one, but now I have.
I mean, there's some other ones out there.
There
what
are
about
definitely throw
the
in.
Stanley?
Kubrick.
Kubrick.
Oh,
Because
now hang on.
I mean,
What does he do?
hang on.
Space Odyssey,
Shining.
Clockwork Orange.
Those are some weird films. You really got
Beautiful. Yeah, but they're beautiful. They are
I was
beautiful.
30 minutes into that and I turned it off. I couldn't follow it. And
No,
Shining-
I think you just didn't like it.
maybe The Shining was okay.
Oh, come on. You don't like that.
well, let's
Look at
Here's Johnny.
that. Here's Johnny.
Oh, that was creepy. That was terrified.
Yeah, Doctor Strangelove. They got some older ones in there.
But speaking of The Shining, this was Jack Nicholson. This was his like second movie where he was the bad guy.
right.
Yeah, so he actually made it like this was like the early they were all in their prime, really, all these actors. Damon was coming off the two Bourne movies, Good Will Hunting.
Right.
Wahlberg was in Boogie Nights. DiCaprio had Titanic,
Yeah.
Blood
Oh
Diamond,
my
Gangs of
God.
New York,
Oh, Blood-
Aviator. Nicholson, like what I was saying, he just had Anger Management,
Right.
and What's Gotta Give, As Good as It Gets. Like,
Well, with Wahlberg, you said Boogie Nights, and it was a good film. I think his coming out party was actually The Italian Job. That got a lot of.
I love that
It
movie.
got a lot of.
no, it got a lot of hate.
It got a lot of, but it got a lot of TV time.
It got a
was on always-
roller coaster.
It did
right,
get a roller
at Kings
coaster,
Island.
and that roller
Right.
coaster was awesome.
and it's phenomenal.
They
Still
had the
is.
flamethrowers
Yeah.
at you.
was that when Paramount still owned
Yes.
Kings Island?
Yeah, it's like
Oh my
back
God.
lot stunt
Wow.
Yeah, now
coaster now,
whatever.
something
yeah.
like that.
It's I don't
Some
think it's
shitty name.
They
That's
even
not
took, they
Italian
even took
Job.
Mark Wahlberg's voice out of the head.
Yeah, dude, that was a great movie.
Yeah,
Total,
it was.
a lot of plot
Yeah.
twists going on too.
Italian
like,
Job in that, but then this is his quintessential. I think every single actor in this is their you could argue is their
Hey.
best,
Is there peak?
is their peak.
Yeah.
I really that's so rare to see that. You know,
Okay.
It's also it's just like
Leo.
a blender
Yeah,
of
okay.
a lot of actors. Just like they all think like I'm the star of this movie.
Yeah,
When
let's-
really there's like four other stars, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, you
Like,
got Leo. He's got some great movies. But what would you put above this? Maybe
Titanic.
I mean,
disagree.
Revenant.
okay, Revenant. Maybe.
Come on.
His role in that was Damon, this might be his number 1.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to go. Yeah.
Okay, I'm kidding.
There's many.
Yeah.
There's too many pitfalls in this argument.
Nicholson's. This could be his number 1. It could.
Just
Because they're not the limelight character doesn't mean that this could be their best role, right?
Of course. But he did.
Alec Baldwin.
Wait, I was just gonna say.
Okay, all right.
Come on.
I'm just gonna knock you out of the park here. He did play Joker, which was he.
We can't compare that with Heath Ledger. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's not
One
even close.
He was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is
Yeah, that's a great film.
Yeah, he was. Jack
I forgot
Nicholson
about
is
that
one of the greats. He definitely will go down. His history is and he will be most remembered for his role as Frank Costello, the bad to the bone gangster of the Irish mob.
Yeah.
What is it with you and your phone?
And so ladies and gentlemen, Caldwell just quoted Frank Costello, which we will dive into
the PG version.
all of the awesome quotes of this movie because it never stops. Like, it's ridiculous how this movie goes on, and it's really the thing about this movie is that you can jump into any scene.
Right.
If you like, it's always on cable. It is always on. You can turn on AMC or TNT, and it's always on. And you can jump in, and you're like, oh, like, wait, this is the bar scene. Oh, this is like when Leo beats up those dudes from Providence.
This is it.
This is it. Like, I gotta watch this. Oh, this is like Digman's interview. Like, you gotta watch it. Like, it's awesome. And Cole, all right. So while Cole was laughing, we're gonna.
That's so true.
So, do you know what we do here? My section?
Sir, yes, sir, I have an idea.
Whoa. Let's say you have no idea and leave it at that, okay? No idea. Zip. None. If you had an idea about what we do, we would not be good at what we do, would we? We would be cunts. You calling us cunts?
Staff Sergeant Dignam has a style of his own. I'm afraid we all have to get used to it.
And this scene, this is just what makes Wahlberg kind of like he's just like this side actor. Like he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and this is how he was the entire movie.
This is good cop, bad cop, at its finest.
At his finest. Martin Sheen, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Just two going at it. They're also just they
Martin
know.
Sheen.
Yeah, Martin Sheen. Okay. Also, Elizabeth was geeking over Martin Sheen being in this movie. But
I don't know why. There's something. Maybe I just like couldn't like grasp his character. I was
he's
just kind
also
of like,
yeah.
Martin Sheen, what are you doing? You gonna? I was like expecting him to say things like when he just was silent, and then it was like okay. But
I mean, he's very subtle the entire movie.
very subtle.
He does like one of these, like just an approving
Usually,
nod
yeah.
without saying any words. Like
He says very little. Like that's about his. Like it's
I
more
mean-
like his face.
any
Son's
boy's got a
studying-
light.
My
Like,
son, my son's studying law at Notre Dame.
Where's your boy? Where's your boy at? Oh, he's at Notre Dame. He's studying law. Thrown off the roof.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Martin Sheen.
no one likes Notre Dame.
Shout out to the boys, 12-0. Shout out to Ohio State too for turning a new leaf, getting rid of Urban Meyer.
Where's he gonna go?
Did he
Well,
step
actually,
down?
they'll talk about that
he's
tomorrow
gonna-
night.
Yeah, well, he's gonna step down, and but enough of Ohio State. You know, there's too many
Yeah,
fans out there.
yeah, they'll talk about sports
Yeah, they'll-
tomorrow.
yeah.
That's
Leave that to
tomorrow.
them.
Yeah, that's
Leave that to
tomorrow.
them.
That's tomorrow's
For
show.
the Jake and Max show with Jason
That's
and
right.
Jason Max, they talk about sports.
8
But we're
p.m.
8 p.m.
8
same
p.m.
time.
Tune
But
in.
we're here for the movies. We're here for The Departed. Now, this movie, like I said, you can hop in anytime. But one thing about the cast is that there were many people who could have been in this movie, and it would have been entirely different. So as
Yeah.
we were on our way over here, Brad Pitt was going to be Sullivan, Damon's role, which I don't know. Think about Brad Pitt in his like Ocean's role.
It's way too hard to
Think about
picture
it. In his Ocean's role, his Mr. Smith role.
Yeah.
He could kind of but see, like, he's not really a snake. He's not a mole. He would not be a good mole.
No.
I mean,
a rodent. No.
Yeah, he's not a good
He's
rodent.
not a good
plus he
rodent.
just doesn't have a punchable face.
Yeah.
Matt Damon in this movie, you can punch him in the face.
That's a valid point
You know,
to say.
You can't touch Brad Pitt's face.
No, you can't. No, that's a
You
crime.
can't touch his face.
Yeah, that's a crime.
Yeah. I mean, once you see the film, though, you're like, who else can be in this role?
Yeah.
And it's so limited, and your imagination is captured by these roles that they play. Again, I said outside, I don't see, Colin Sullivan as Matt Damon. I see him as Colin Sullivan. I see him as Sergeant Sullivan.
Sorry, yeah, Sarge.
Sergeant Sullivan.
Sarge.
I don't see Leo as Leo. I see him as Billy Costigan. You know, how they do these roles. It is phenomenal, and especially for so many big time actors in the movie, it's really impressive for them to play their role and to not show their real name is Leo or the big shots. So
Right.
it's real impressive.
It's kind of like I said, like all these actors, they're kind of on their come up. Like Matt Damon had the Jason Bourne films, which are awesome.
They're real good.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
So another surprising actor who could have taken the wheel, Ray Liotta, could have been Wahlberg. He could have been Digman. He could have been the guy saying, "Are you calling us cunts?" But Ray Liotta, I guess he might have just been too big for this role. He's been working with Scorsese before. He had Goodfellas, of course. So who knows? He might have just not been up for it. I don't know.
Do you think so? He was the number one. They went to him first.
They wanted him. Yeah, they wanted him, and he turned it down.
That's interesting. For who's? For Mark?
For Dignam.
Right in Dignam, Mark
Dignam.
Wahlberg. He's Boston. He's a Boston guy. So maybe it was more natural. I don't.
Probably.
I can't picture anyone else in that role though. I just can't. But,
And
Ray
also-
Liotta,
yeah.
but Ray, I mean, these guys are great actors too, and they could find a way to make it still great. And Ray Liotta is a good actor. Brad Pitt is.
They might have got him for his
Okay,
size.
dude.
They might have got Wahlberg for like his size. They're
Yeah.
like, you know what? We need someone kind of level with Martin Sheen.
Right.
I feel like Ray's tall.
Yeah.
How tall is Ray?
He's got to be close to 6, maybe more. He was towering over, De Niro. I feel in Goodfellas.
And the other guy.
Yeah.
How tall is, oh, he's 6 foot. Yeah. He's 6 foot. That's pretty tall. No way. Oh yeah, he was in Field of Dreams.
Maybe
I cannot do that laugh. My brother, shout out Jay Caldwell, he can do an amazing Ray Liotta laugh. It's just
get him on the phone right now. Right now.
You make me laugh. Oh, I'm funny.
funny
Am
how.
I supposed to amuse you? I'm a clown. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing Goodfellas next semester. Just sit tight, but we'll get there. Yeah, sorry, Elizabeth. Elizabeth won't be here.
Really wanted to do Goodfellas, but it's okay.
You could maybe call in. We could work something. Just go to the U.S. Embassy, work something out. Long distance phone call. I think it'd work.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Oh, so Alec Baldwin. We forgot to kind of mention him.
Oh.
He's kind of a goofball in this movie, but he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Um,
So quotable.
guess
Absolutely.
who turned that down?
Give me a hint.
It rhymes with Schmel Mibson.
No way.
Mel Gibson for
No
Yeah,
what?
Mel Gibson.
way.
Mel Gibson was working on Apocalypto Now.
You know what's funny? Both those guys are notorious hotheads in real life.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin is a hothead. Mel Gibson clearly has his struggles.
struggles, yeah.
So that's funny.
I don't know if I could have stomached Mel Gibson for that. But
Actually, I think about it. He would have done well.
Yeah,
Think about it,
would've
like
done
kind of
well.
him in the front, like of the table,
Yeah.
like giving like this is who we got. Like he's the muscle.
Got Fitzy.
Frenchie,
French, the number 2.
number 2,
Frenchie.
and you'll know the big guy, Costello.
This is who we after.
Oh my God.
Give me all your ideas so I can pass them off as my own.
Rise fast.
Work hard, you rise fast.
Rise fast.
Like a 12-year-old dick. That's Wahlberg. That's Wahlberg and Sheen, but still.
You're a worker. You rise fast. Like a 12-year-old's dick.
Don't you-
It's 8:20. Want to dive into the plot?
Yeah,
Real,
yeah.
real
we'll-
nitty gritty.
So
Numero uno.
So actually,
Oh
my God.
yeah. So this movie actually, we don't see the credits come in until 18 minutes. That's record. That's record time.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, like as
Like
introducing
the
it,
like
right.
the title does not come on until like it starts off, which was so I was talking about it, I was watching it last night on my DVD. It doesn't even say Blu-ray on it. It says like home audio. I got it from a Goodwill and like. I don't know. It was in Cincy for like $3. I was like, oh my God, like I gotta buy this because this movie's so good and it's priceless. And of course, it came off Netflix.
Right.
Herman tried to watch it there, so bought it, and it starts off just white letters in Boston, comma.
Yeah,
Some
certain year.
some years later.
Yeah.
It just starts people just beating the crap out of each other. And
I
then
don't want to be a product of my environment.
I want my
environment to be a product.
You got to work
of
on that.
me.
You got to work on that.
Do I?
Yeah. Nicholson does not have like asthma or like smokers.
Oh, he
Yeah,
does
not-
for sure.
He does not. No,
It's
he
more
does
of a
not.
rasp, I would say. I
It's
don't know.
not.
Years ago, we had the church.
That's not
Just
it.
another way of saying we had each other.
I think it's there.
He's working on it. By the time the end of the show, we'll be fine. But
The Knights
yeah.
of Columbus were true.
Oh, that.
Guineas.
Hey, you can't forget Knights of Columbus.
But
can't-
how about that open? You know,
Yeah, and it starts off with, of course,
Give Me Shelter, the Rolling
yeah,
Stones.
yeah. We all know
brings it in.
Scorsese. We all know Scorsese loves
Yes.
the Rolling Stones in
Yeah.
all his movies. There's probably at least 4 songs.
Give Me Shelter's played a lot in a lot of his
Gimme
films.
Shelter is
Yeah.
played in 3 of his films: Casino,
Yeah.
This, Departed, and Goodfellas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great song, but
Yeah.
like, I think we all get tired of it eventually.
We sit there like, oh, okay,
Martin,
yeah.
you hear
Here
that?
we go.
Martin?
Here we
yeah.
go again.
Gotta switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe like Sympathy of the Devil. Is
A
that
little
it?
bit. Yeah. Sympathy for the. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
That could
Be a good
work.
touch. But it starts off. We are introduced to our two. Actually, we're introduced to the young Sullivan, which is I love the fantastic cut from when you're either a criminal or you're a police officer, but when you're facing a loaded gun,
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
what's the difference?
What's the difference?
And then what does he say? He's like he says something when it like changes Sullivan's and like you hear Jack Nicholson's voice. He says something. He says like, oh, he says my boy. He says my boy, and that's a huge thing for Sullivan. So Sullivan is played by Matt Damon. William Costigan is played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Sergeant Digmun is Mark Wahlberg. Captain Queenan, Martin Sheen.
Queen.
Queenan also.
I can't get over that name.
Alec Baldwin.
Ellerby?
Ellerby. Yeah.
Sergeant Ellerby?
Sergeant. It's something.
Something Ellerby.
He's
Yeah.
maybe Captain.
Captain Ellerby.
Lieutenant.
Something like
so
that.
He's
Yeah.
one of the hires.
Yeah.
And then Jack Nicholson, of course, plays the big man,
big man.
Frank Costello. And so we see Sullivan and Costigan are both in the Stady Police. So they're both like they're running, they're just doing simple. Oh my God! So I was watching this yesterday. The first thing we see Sullivan learning is what happens when the bullet goes through the skull.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
how he meets his demise.
And that's
you
how
know?
he meets his demise.
The whole movie, like, there's a bunch of themes where things come full
What,
circle.
they said mushrooms, the mushroom
Yeah, it
effect.
says
Yeah.
mushrooms, and
Yeah.
and they also say like, and the head kind of blows back,
Yeah.
and that you see his head kind of.
At the end of the movie,
Probably
exactly.
had like
And
mushrooms
then
in his
in the
burger.
same
Like,
scene, in the next scene, you see the Capitol building, and then right after his death,
Oh,
at the end
Herman
of the
was
movie,
so excited to say that.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, we'll get to that.
He was so excited. He was holding that in. He's exploding over.
I
it.
am. I can't sit still.
just
This is
like
bullshit.
eating at that symbolism.
I snagged this from Dempsey's house. It's fantastic.
With the AKO shirt.
Yeah, in reference. Okay, yeah.
I was just Shout out Dempsey. We love you. We miss you.
Yeah, she should come back for Goodfellas.
Nah, she probably doesn't watch it.
Is that next week?
No,
No.
next week is
Christmas.
Christmas.
In
Okay.
some time.
Next
sometime.
week is Christmas. So we meet Costigan, we meet Sullivan, and another great question is towards when they both graduate.
Oh, yeah.
When they both graduate, Frank turns around,
Yeah.
says to Sullivan, "What does he say, Caldwell?"
School's out. No pencils, no books. What does he give him?
And then he gives him a box.
Yeah, they never show
I
it.
mean, they never say, but I say it's a flip phone, which is it's a device in this movie that's very crucial
Yeah,
to all the actors. DiCaprio uses it. Costigan uses it to contact Captain Queenan, and then Sullivan uses it to contact Costello. Costello uses it vice versa.
You know, that was probably my first phone. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
flip phones.
Oh,
are the
God.
best. T9 word.
Another thing about the phones is like some of the scenes that are more intense. When after Queenan dies and he calls him back on the phone with the blood on it. Every time,
Oh, yeah.
every time he
Crusty
opens,
with
every
blood.
time he opens the phone, it gets progressively louder and louder and louder until like he just grabs his like go bag and gets the hell out of
Yeah.
there. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's like
Oh.
it's like a huge buildup. Like if you watch
Call him from
Wait a
dead
minute. Yeah,
guy's
good
phone.
point.
you watch that scene again, he's like, you just called from a dead guy's phone. Like, and like every time he like flips
Hey,
his phone
trooper.
open, it gets louder and louder and louder until he's just like I'm screwed. Like they know everything, and then he just like
Hey trooper, can we get you to come
Yeah.
in? We'll just sit you down and we'll we really need you to come in. And
Can you come in? Then you just do the desperation come out of his voice.
Yeah.
He goes like, "This guy could ruin my life,
Yeah.
kill me."
Yeah.
and so and then immediately it jumps in. So like the interview we just played, they interviewed Sullivan. They said like, "Congratulations, welcome to the best special investigations unit." And then they interview Leonardo DiCaprio, Costigan, with the intent of telling him you're gonna become a rat. Like they knew that already. They looked at his file. They knew his father, Jackie Costigan, was already. I don't know what gang he was in, but he was definitely in one.
He's wasn't he like a bookie for the IRA, like
He was
Irish Republican Army?
Yeah, he did something for them.
That's what that was. Okay.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. So William Costigan's father did that.
Dignam just
His Uncle Jackie. I
Dignam.
like
Yeah,
his
his
Uncle
Uncle
Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah, his Uncle Jackie.
Uncle Jackie was good. He was good.
Uncle Jackie got caught selling guns to federal officers, and so they already know that like his record is actually set pretty well for him to go undercover. And like they talk about how he beat a gym teacher with a folding chair, and so they were like, you know, like we're gonna have to say you got kicked out of school. We're saying like battery and something like that because it'll all make sense. And Herman was pointing this out, how the timeline of when he goes to jail
Exactly.
and when he gets out is somewhere. What did we say?
We said like a few years.
4 to 5,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Wait, he says a year. He says I've been out of the States for like
that it?
12 months. When he first goes to his cousin's house,
Yeah.
he like tells his aunt. She's like, "Oh, like I heard you were States." He's like, "Oh, I was out of it for 12 months now."
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that. So
And like while he's in prison, he's like building up that reputation like with inmates.
Yes, when the guy was
he's
like,
just- he's just
are you
so
so-and-so's? Or like,
his cousin? He goes, "Who's asking?"
I just wondered.
Like people are like a little intimidated.
It's like kind of a head case. He's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's-
He is.
or he's like,
None
oh,
taken.
like,
Also,
yeah.
wow,
It's kinda
wow.
dumb.
No
Yeah,
offense,
no,
while
it's
they're
fine. It's fine.
playing Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah,
Right.
That's the second entrance to the movie when they actually they say
The Departed. Right.
Leo's
18
just
minutes in.
18 minutes in.
He's just doing
Leo's
dips,
just
doing
dips
dips in between the bed frames.
in his
like,
cell while everyone else is sleeping.
with a, he might even have a cigarette lit in his mouth. I don't
Maybe.
even know. Like he's
Maybe.
just,
That
it's just a
would-
badass
And wouldn't
scene.
that just make it?
Yeah,
Yep.
it would.
But it gets real into it immediately. One of my, also hands down, my favorite scene when Costigan he's trying to make his way up into kind of the crime world, and luckily enough his cousin sells drugs, so perfect way to get involved in the drug and gang.
Brigade.
Yeah, great.
Get into
great.
organized crime.
Yeah, get into organized crime. Why not with your cousin? So I think we all know this scene where it starts going. So
No, he's no cop. He got out of the joint 3 weeks ago.
Cunt cop.
No. He talks like his shit don't stink, but he's good people.
Well, I knew his father. I liked his Uncle Jackie better. Jackie was all right.
Uncle Jackie was excellent.
Fucking guineas. After Jackie.
Uncle Jack.
Slanger.
Cranberry juice.
It's natural diuretic. My girlfriend drinks it when she's got her period. What, do you get your period?
takes a drag from a cigarette.
Get your fucking hands off! Hey.
Mr. French.
You know me?
No.
Well, I'm the guy that tells you there are guys you can hit, and there's guys you can't. Now, that's not quite a guy you can't hit, but it's almost a guy you can't hit. So I'm gonna make a fucking ruling on this right now. You don't fucking hit him. You understand?
It's Jackie's cousin.
Excellent, fine.
It's Jackie's cousin.
Yeah.
It's Jackie's nephew.
The little
I
Allman Brothers in
fucking
the
know you.
background too. Another great.
I know
great
your
track.
family. You make one
I
more
gotta
drug
see him
deal
just
with that
do the-
idiot fucking cop magnet of a cousin of yours, and I'll forget your grandmother was so nice to me. I'll cut your fucking nuts off. You understand that?
Yeah, I do.
What are you drinking?
See, that sounds like you, Caldwell. That little
Okay.
rough scene.
Okay. So who am I? French?
You're Mr. French, yeah.
Yeah, it's not what I intended to be.
Cranberry juice.
What is it, your period?
Get him.
Get him a cranberry juice.
All right, well, it's settled. I am Frenchie. I am Mr. French.
I mean, yeah, iconic scene.
Who did you want to be?
Hey, fuckhead.
I want to see anybody I want. I could be.
What? Oh, fucking what?
Yeah, why would you not want to be Frenchie, dude? He just clocks that dude.
What? Does he meet his demise?
Yes, Frenchie gets shot in the belly.
No,
Remember?
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're at the warehouse.
yeah,
He's like,
No.
oh, they shot me. Yeah, he's like, oh, they shot me. And he
yeah.
right as the time when the
Okay.
car blows up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's toward the end, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen the end.
You said 3 weeks ago, so it should be ingrained
Well,
in your brain.
I didn't even see the end then.
Yeah.
So
It's probably been a couple months.
Yeah, so this really, like, the timeline of this movie, which was a huge deal. Costigan is undercover. He ends up getting his way in. He actually has to break his arm and then gets it rebroken, which is also
Yeah.
That was just
painful. It's painful to watch.
Oh.
Just
Yeah.
getting hammered with that boot on the pool table.
Yeah, so for Costigan ended up beating some guys up from
Tim.
Providence.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the boot.
Some cannolis.
Because they were selling cannolis, and he ended up breaking his. Was it his wrist? I think it was his wrist.
Yeah.
Because he's like he
Yeah.
like the normal thing. Don't punch people.
Right.
In the jaw because you're gonna break your wrist.
Right.
So he broke his wrist, and he was at the same bar where he got in a little scuffle over the cranberry juice. Classic. But then Frank Costello, the big man, comes in and he says, like, I want to talk to you. He's like, I'm not the cops. I'm not asking you. and he's like, they ask him, are you a cop? They search him, and then they rip off the cast, and then they just start beating his wrist with a gosh darn Timberland.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what we say at these moments, and he's just like, I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And
they check him for the wire.
and it's like super painful
Yeah.
to watch because
they check him all right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Everywhere. They destroy the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they rip open the cast and then they're like, oh, you know,
He's good.
we're not
He's
done.
good.
And they're like, oh, he's good. But we're just going to re-break his arm anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Then just power move. Frank just whips out like
Yeah, Costello
just
whips
like
out
throws out like $1,000 in cash.
Get
like
it fixed. Get it
yeah.
yes, there you go.
hey, honey, what's got you all hot and bothered?
Get in the car, you'll find out.
and it's kind of funny. That girl who kind of Frank's girlfriend is the one who works in like the diner shop where you see her in the very beginning.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah,
I actually
that was
didn't
her.
know, I didn't know that either.
Could you,
when asked if she had a period yet?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the same girl.
And then he like tosses some money, goes,
Yeah.
go buy yourself some makeup.
Yeah.
Like just
what's her name?
Total asshole.
It's like the name. You can catch it if you catch the names. Like the names are the same, and you're like, okay, that makes sense.
And then like later, she's like leaving the apartment, and he's like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "Choir."
He's like,
Choir
He's like,
Choir.
goddamn choir practice.
I'm like-
Ugh. They also like. I love when Frenchie and Costello. It's probably maybe like 4 or 5 in the morning, and they're just spitballing whether to take Costigan into their gang. And Frank's wife is just on the couch. She's like, "Can't you two shut up?" And then they start singing some Irish music, and they're just like, and you're just like, you just love Costello, like Jack Nicholson. I love in this movie. Like he's fantastic.
He is good.
I can't see Al Pacino. Al Pacino was the guy who was he was the number one.
Because Nicholson's got that goofiness to him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can't see Pacino. I think Pacino's 100%.
Are you a cop? Are
Yeah.
you a cop?
just screaming, right? But
I mean, maybe if it wasn't set in Boston. Well, Boston.
now you're saying it in New York. You
Oh.
gotta Boston.
Oh,
But it's
wait, that's
funny-
where I was going. If it was
Yeah.
in New York, then we would
Then
say.
Pacino.
Then we would have
Pacino.
Pacino. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, then I would
Of
have.
course.
By the way, we were talking about Boston and Boston. Shout out to Matt Hickey tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy. He wants to know
Ooh.
who's on Mount Rushmore for Boston actors.
For Boston actors,
No, I think it's pretty clear.
It's
who it
both
is.
Afflecks, maybe.
I would say
So-
Casey. Casey.
You say put Casey. He just won an Oscar. I think it's easy. I think it's Damon. I think it's Wahlberg, and I think it's the both Afflecks.
Yeah.
Who
By the
else?
way,
Oh,
another Wahlberg. Sorry, there's another Wahlberg
in this movie.
The movie.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
don't.
It's the
some people-
FBI guy.
And I would have thought. I thought
Really?
the entire time it was Donnie
Wait, I need a
Wahlberg.
picture.
It's not Donnie Wahlberg.
Go to
It's Robert
Yeah,
Wahlberg.
go to IMDb and then you
And
can
I wanna
scroll.
see him,
you scroll
yeah.
down and it says like something Wahlberg, and you're like, what?
He's in the briefing room at the very beginning when
Yeah.
when
He walks
Wahlberg
in.
Wahlberg
Yeah.
Digman walks in and says, "This is the deal, my people are out there." They're like Indians. You won't hear or see about, like that.
They're like shrooms. feed them and keep them in the dock. That is my favorite Wahlberg scene when he's introducing. It's like, do you guys have anyone inside Costello's group? Maybe not. Maybe go. My thoughts on feds are feed them and keep them in the dock.
There's a scene where Wahlberg berates his older brother, Robert Wahlberg, who's in it. He asks something about, or he answers a condescending question. It's like, which is in Saudi or something. It's like, oh yeah, that's smart ass. Who pulls your transcript?
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder how happy Mark Wahlberg was to just rip his older brother. People don't know that's a Wahlberg, and it looks just like Donnie, but it's Robert Wahlberg.
That's true. Good call. Good catch. I saw that on IMDb today. I was like, no way. That's pretty funny.
I think that's his only cameo though.
So I was watching it last night, and shout out to my poli-sci professor, Professor Ryan Barrio. But we were learning about 2001, after the 9/11 attacks, they issued the Patriot Act.
Patriot Act.
Yeah. So when they're doing the microprocessor deal, Costello ended up stealing some microprocessor from the microprocessor store on 81st Street.
That's great.
Yeah,
can we just? Can we just could they have called it like something else? Like it was just like mass microprocessor. And I'm like, why? Like, why does it have to be that?
That's the comedy. That's the sprinkles of
comedy.
What
they didn't think we had a navy? They just they think they can get away like on the boat.
Yeah, so Frank Costello ended up stealing these things called microprocessors, which can shoot a rocket about a couple of 100 miles away.
Up a camel's ass.
Up a camel's ass. And so China, this gang of China members, which I guess they have some ties to the China government. Yeah. They're trying to buy like 100 of them. And each one is worth $100,000. Yeah. So that's a poop load of money. And of course, like going into it, so this going back to the Patriot Act, the FBI, like the Boston PD and like the FBI, they're like monitoring it because with the help of the Patriot Act, because they can monitor cell phones. And so I caught, and like Alec Baldwin gets really excited. He's like, Patriot Act, and they get so excited because like really that was like a huge controversy of people like their cell phones being monitored. But really, it's like for the sake of like it was used for these situations like crime deals and all this stuff. But like Herman said,
it fell through.
Like they said, they didn't think we would have a navy.
Yeah.
And
did you put the camera in the back?
Yeah.
Did you put the camera in the back?
Come here.
Can I talk to you for a second? You ruined it. It's the most robotic punch in film ever. Go watch it again. Alec Baldwin punches this guy like he is a Terminator. So robotic. It is hilarious.
He's so sweaty in that scene.
Oh my God! Wait, great point.
It's literally like it makes me almost uncomfortable. Like he's just like sweating
the entire
through like 3 layers of shirts.
I mean, imagine if you're the head, the lieutenant of the department, and you're watching like
your guy.
Yeah, your guy. Someone is in there, and you can. Yeah. Well, also like they're expecting. All right, we have footage. We're gonna have footage of the deal. Mm-hmm. Boom, and then we'll make the arrest. Psych. They have a navy. Yeah. So, of course, I would be sweating. I'd be sweating bullets.
That reminds me. We'd had this conversation outside. We were talking about how the skill of being able to text on the flip.
The T9. Yep. Yeah. This was a huge...
in the pocket, no phones.
DiCaprio says... he texts the money. Damon's like, no phones. So it's just... But they're all doing it while not looking at the phone. Which, humble brag, I could do that with my flip phone. No big deal.
You know what? It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, actually a hard flex.
It's been a while, but
because it was simple. It was 3 buttons. You would hit T9, and then you would hit how many contacts down. Like if it was an A, it was like you just had to count down. Or you would hit J. It would go to the jacks and like how many jacks you had. I was a pro, like I said, humble brag.
And there's like little like.
Yeah, they're like
you can feel the buttons.
Like A, B, and C are on the two.
Yeah, the indentations of the letters maybe you could even feel.
But now I'm just picturing Holker in middle school, just like with his phone in his pocket.
It went to high school. You know that.
Okay.
Good girl. I like you. I like you.
You look pretty today.
No, actually, did you have a flip phone more?
I did. Yeah.
I did, didn't you?
I did.
You like different people.
I did. But and so this entire movie, it's a long, what is it, like 3, pushing 3?
It's 3. The runtime's almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it. we're hitting 8:40, so we're gonna take a quick break from our sponsor. So if you're feeling Mexican food tonight for dinner but don't want to sit down or just want a late night snack like my friend Zach Donnelly, drive down to Taco Bell on Lynn Street. Try the new chicken tacos, or if you're on a tight budget but starving, get the $5 double chalupa box. Or if you just want something cold, get the Baja Blast, which is a perfect combination to wash down that taco ingredient. And ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of playing you the Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb.
Hello, is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone home? Come on now. I hear you're feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax. I need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you will not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb. Comfortably numb.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, well, if you know and you watched this movie before, Comfortably Numb is played in one of the most pivotal scenes of this movie.
You don't have any cats. I like that.
So Costigan, as he is released out of prison, he's referred to go see a shrink. That's just kind of like parole, kind of whole part of that ordeal to make it real that he is not a cop, and he ends up wooing his psychiatrist, who in the small world it is dating Matt Damon, is dating Sullivan, and
Moves in, whole deal.
Yeah. So as she's moving out, Costigan thinks it's a bright idea. I think he saw someone get killed or something like that. That was right after Delahunt got killed.
Yeah,
and he ends up going to the psychiatrist's house and just kind of like finds his way in, and then he notices there's no cats. And
What does that mean?
what is it?
What is the?
I think it's because he
What
like
if he's a dog person?
I don't know.
Is he? Yeah. What if he's just a dog
I'm
person?
not I'm not a cat person, but you don't have any cat. It's just so.
Yeah. So he.
I think it was
Yeah,
because he thought she was like kind of weird.
Yeah.
And, like he's
'Cause she was
crazy.
a
He was
psychiatrist. Like a
he was just
psychiatrist.
he was just like,
Yeah,
oh, like
that's
went
it.
to Harvard, but like, oh, you're a police shrink, like, oh, you don't have any cats. Like I thought you'd be weird. Like I that's what I perceived it
Yeah,
as.
okay. Honestly,
But,
I'm feeling it now.
yeah,
it
quick-
makes sense.
Quick shout out to the ladies of AKO. we love all of you.
Oh yeah, I'm ripping a shirt right now. Actually, your new Rush shirts.
I like that. That's a good shirt.
It's
It
a
is.
re-
It's a
it's
cool
the-
shirt.
it's
Speaking of the
Stones.
Stones,
It's
yeah.
the
Speaking of the
Stones, that's it.
Stones,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Alpha Chi. They're kind of rebrand.
yeah.
Whoop.
Hey, that's
But all right. So
Just on that, just to confirm, shout out Dan Kratt. He did make a good point. That was not the version of the song they play.
No, it was not. Thanks, Dan.
It's with the band. It's with Van Morrison and also with Roger Waters. It is a great version. It was on Spotify. They took it out though, I think a year ago.
thanks, Dan. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Just want to get that across. Shout out Dan.
But
Thanks for listening, buddy.
With the time that we have left, we're gonna go around the table and talk about our favorite scenes and our favorite quotes. Now, for our favorite scene, I gave some nominees. Of course, everyone probably has their own already picked. Number 1, cranberry juice. That's mine. That's my number 1. 2, the beginning of the entire movie, so probably those first 18 minutes. 3, the cast being broken. 4, Digman interviews. And then when Sullivan and Costigan almost meet each other in the alleyway.
Yeah, and like Chinatown, that guy
In
gets
Chinatown.
stabbed
Yeah.
in the alley.
Yeah, Sullivan totally just murders
Ooh,
that
yeah.
guy. And you're like, wow, that guy's dead.
like, okay.
The guy's so dead. So, yeah, my favorite scene, cranberry juice. It's legendary. I'm a huge fan of cranberry juice. No.
I was gonna say, so I bartend. Anyone that orders like a vodka cran, I just think of The Departed. And it's not a good. I don't want you to order vodka crans. I don't.
I like vodka cranberries.
Can we, from last
I like
week's
Spider-Man.
Crazy Stupid Love with Cal, he's
I
like
like Spider-Man.
sipping on those like vodka crayons. And then Ryan Gosling's like, what are you doing,
Yeah, stop
guy?"
drinking vodka. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
But
not.
again, yeah.
But, okay, not as a mixture in liquor, as just a normal juice. Like, I like it a
Okay,
lot.
yeah, I wouldn't shoot down.
Yeah.
Cranberry as a-
It's very slept on. I would say it's my number 2 of the juices. Apple juice being OG.
apple juice.
When you were
Okay.
little, did you ever like combine your cranberry and orange juice? No.
Grapefruit juice.
Little kitty
gross.
cocktail. No.
Little kitty cocktail.
All right. So before we get on the juices, we'll have to. All right. Who wants to take the wheel? Favorite scenes.
I'll go last.
All right.
Oh, the scene when, what's his name? Is writing Citizen on the.
Oh,
I don't know. It's one. Of the,
that's not Frenchie. It's
one of the other guys. I can't
It's the
remember.
muscle. They say
Is it
muscle.
the muscle?
They
Yeah.
say the muscle.
Okay.
He's like writing Citizen on the envelope, and he's like CITIZIN.
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy, what are you doing?
I don't know if this is how you spell this. Okay.
All right, Herman,
Yeah.
you want to go?
Yeah, it's a toss-up for me, really. Like I said, I like the scene when Sullivan takes Queenan's phone after Queenan's dead, and it just gets progressively more intense with each call. Like, he's just like, he's literally getting a phone call from a dead guy's phone. Like,
Yeah.
especially when he thinks he's alone. Like, he's just sitting there ready to like just get the hell out of there. And then I like the final chase scene, or not chase scene, like when they're tailing Frank.
Oh yeah.
Right before he like
Get off the deck.
meets his end, and you can tell like Frank throughout the entire movie was so calm, like about everything. Like he was so confident, and he knew, like, I don't know if he knew they were gonna get busted, but he was starting to crack a little bit.
Yeah, that's what like DiCaprio was telling.
Yeah, he's like, Frank's
Queen,
starting
like
to
he's
crack.
freaking out. Like he just like killed some guy yesterday. He walked in with blood, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So Elizabeth, the guy who says I don't know how to spell citizens, it's Fitzy. Fitzy.
Oh,
The Fitzy. So
Thank you.
I almost forgot to mention, but one of my favorite, honestly, just like a couple 30 seconds of this movie is
I quit. You pressure me to fear for my life, and I will put a fucking bullet in your head as if you were anybody else, okay?
if you didn't hear that, it was a clank on the ground. Frank reaches for something. Oh, it's a gun.
Got something you wanna ask me?
And that's kind of when you know, like, DiCaprio, he's inches away from getting caught.
Yeah.
But
And there's a lot of scenes where he is so, especially when they're the two guys, I don't know who are out front, but outside the bar, they're like, Billy Costigan leaves. and
Are
he's
you a
like-
cop?
he's
That's
like,
a cop.
You're a cop. And he imagine being in his position
Oh, I'd
and he's
freak
like,
out.
holy shit.
I know, yeah. Especially right when they were like writing out all their information.
Yeah. You're a cop.
All right, Caldwell. Favorite scenes.
This is tough.
We'll deal with it.
I love the dialogue when they first meet Costigan, Queenham and Dignam. It's incredible. I love that. That's great dialogue. And also the dialogue when Ellerby, when Alec Baldwin gives Matt Damon the role of finding the rat.
When it's him.
When it's him at the driving range. I think that's amazing.
You have an immaculate record? I like that. I had an immaculate record.
Some people don't trust people with an immaculate record. I do. I had an immaculate record. That's a great quote too.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's so many. Those would be one of the ones that really stand out as far as great scenes.
What else?
Great acting.
Yeah. What?
I got some quotes.
Yeah. Give us some quotes. Yeah. We'll get ready for one quote.
So can I quote everything on this?
Yeah. Go for it. Go.
Okay. Cool. So it's when they have the videos of this interaction with the meeting with the Chinese.
Right.
All right. They're all watching it and
Should go. Yeah. Hurry.
Right, and they find out that they Mark Wahlberg's like freaking out because they don't have the camera set in place. He says, "This is unbelievable. Who put the fucking cameras in this place?" And the camera police tech guy's like, "Oh, who the fuck are you?" And this is the greatest line ever. Dignam, "I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy." That is a great. That's an all timer. And then one more is. If someone else can go and I can think.
All right. Herman, take it.
One last quick shout out all the way to Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to my sister and all her housemates listening in from a few hundred miles away.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's cute.
Yeah. All right, cool. And then my quote's gonna be when he's just like, Frank asks, "How's your mother doing?" And he goes, "She's on her way out." And Frank goes, "We all are. Act accordingly."
Oh yeah, Elizabeth, you got one ready or?
Yeah, the I'm not gonna pull the poll. I'm not gonna quote it directly, but he's like, "What are you wearing?" And, like,
You ready to storm Poland?
Storm Poland. Because the way they dress, it's like the pleated pants. I'm like, get those out.
Yeah. And then one more quick one. Dignam says, "I can't wait to wipe that fucking smirk right off your face." Costello goes, "Would you rather wipe my ass?"
My favorite is when they're doing the deal with the Chinese, and Costello's like, "No tiki, no laundry." And ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for tonight. We're going out to Stones with Gimme Shelter. I'm your host, Al Colker. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Have a good one.